Welcome. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Boom Effect podcast. Today, I am going to answer a question that newbies ask a lot. And then there is a lot of newbies that I talk to that actually regret that they left their 9 to 5 where they were earning well. And it's been a year, maybe two, maybe more, and they still haven't done a deal. What's up, Instagram? Hope you're doing well. Please make sure you share this live to whoever you think can benefit from it. So today we're going to talk about this very, very pertinent and probably one of the number one questions you get from most newbies from any kind of networking events that you go to, any kind of DMs, right? So let me just let people get in here. I'm gonna go on Facebook, make sure I'm actually public. For some reason, Meta always put the lives private. Don't know why. Zuckerberg, why? Why, bro? All right, let's go edit audience, and then we're gonna put this public. Why? Because the more we are to the party, the more fun we're going to have. Welcome, everybody. Happy Monday. How is you guys' week going? Let me know which market you're watching from. And how's your week going? How is business going in 2024? Did you start strong? Did you start how do you call it? Did you start slow? How's your week going so far? Bang, bang, bang. Let's see. Okay. There you go. So now we're public. All right, so we should be public on Facebook right now. Guys, let me know if you're watching on on YouTube or on Facebook or Instagram too. Let me know if you can hear me well. Just give me a thumbs up. Maybe drop a boom, drop a yes, whatever. Give me a thumbs up. Before we get into this topic, I think just last week I got at least freaking 5 questions about, hey, Mamadou, when is the right time for me to quit my 9 to 5 and jump into, thank you, bro, and jump into, James, who are you referring to that be gay? What are you talking about, bro? Who, Elon? Are you talking about Elon Musk? Thank you, bro. Thank you. So just last week alone, guys, I got like 3. So as you guys know, since I moved to Atlanta, I started a workshop here in person. Zuckerberg, I'm crying, bro. You're right, though. He does have the walk that is a little bit suspicious. I absolutely 100% agree because Elon Musk is a G, So, but guys, when is the right time to quit my 9 to 5, right? Newbies love to ask this question. So let me see. Let me make sure we get a few folks in. Okay, YouTube seems to be good as well. Guys, give me some thumbs up on Facebook. And you guys hear me if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube. Just give me a boom, a yes, whatever before I get into the topic to make sure. Atlanta, yes, bro. We over here. We started the year strong. We started with $158,000 closing in January. So we started strong. We're still going strong. Right here, we're buying actually the office building where we're working from, right? It's a bunch of buildings that people are renting, and then we're going to convert the front building into a lounge bar, and then in the back, we're going to have a studio that people can rent for podcasts and content, and then the rest is going to be obviously my team banging deals. Whether that be the real estate, this year we're venturing into buying deals, and then big multifamilies. We already started working on that. Ben, who's going to be one of my equity partners on those buildings, he's the one that actually built the building initially, and then he had equity stake on the deal. Then he cashed out, went on other ventures, and now he's getting back to it. We were, he said strip club. No, not a strip club, bro. Money, not a strip club. Just a lounge with hookah, you know what I mean? Listen, look at this, right? That's going to be huge. So in the back, we're generating deals and closing real estate deals. And then in the front, you're going to have, it's going to be a luxury one, right? So you're going to have obviously high level people that comes to that lounge. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to go in there for networking, and then we're going to pool private money from that lounge. We're just going to invite them in the back. The office is in the back, give them a walkthrough, see exactly what we're doing. So trust me, it's a chess move that we're going to do with that. So no strip clubs. I mean, I've been to strip clubs, but trust me, strip clubs are a money grave. Definitely, I'm not interested in investing in no strip clubs. That's funny, James. All right, guys, so let's get into it, right? I'm not going to make it long. I'm going to make it super short. So people ask all the time. Newbies ask all the time. Now, please, if you're here, be ready to have it raw, straight. I call a cat, and I call a dog, a dog. If you're sensitive, don't listen to it because I am going to give it to you. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, right? Most people that ask this question of, when should I quit my 9 to 5? Most guys, at least, right? When should I quit my 9 to 5? Or Mamadou, should I quit my 9 to 5 right now? Who are you asking? Whatever your favorite guru is. Typically, you already know if you quit your 9 to 5 or not. You already know the answer. You're asking the question. Most people are asking the question, hoping that either one, you tell them no, two, you tell them yes. Then when they quit their 9 to 5, they don't do the work. And then if they don't succeed and now they have to go back and find another job, they grow, how do you call it? They start resenting you that gave them the advice in the first place, right? So when somebody asks me if they should quit their 9 to 5, my first question is always, well, one, I don't know if you should quit your 9 to 5, right? I don't know what your risk tolerance is. Nobody should ever give you the advice to quit your 9 to 5, right? That's great, James. So nobody should ever advise you to quit your 9 to 5. Why? Because you know your risk tolerant. I don't know how risk tolerant you are. That's one. Second, I don't know your work ethic, because real estate wholesaling ultimately, it doesn't matter, by the way, what business you're trying to quit your 9 to 5 for. Whether you're trying to quit your 9 to 5 for drop shipping, to start doing content creation, to start doing wholesaling real estate. But here, I'm specifically addressing real estate wholesaling because I coach a lot of newbies and they come up with this question, right? So what is wholesaling real estate? Wholesaling real estate is basically just to pay your bills. It's today's money, basically, right? That's the short-term money. And then the long-term money is when you start buying holds, when you start doing buying holds and all that fun stuff. So when you say, should I quit my 9 to 5? That's a tough question. Nobody should ever answer that question except you, yourself, right? Now, people can give you general answers as to when, depending on, if multiple different factors align, then maybe potentially that's when you should consider quitting your 9 to 5. But when you ask that question, genuinely, you already know what to do. It's like asking, hey, if I just moved to the United States and I don't speak English, should I learn English? Like, what? It's obvious you should learn English if you want to make something of your life, right? Or should I go to the gym to lose weight? And if I go to the gym, what kind of workout should I do? You know what kind of workouts you should do when you go to the gym. You're asking because you want somebody to tell you what you already know, but you know what to do, right? So okay, you asked me if you should quit your 9 to 5. Well, one, I don't know what your financial situation is. Two, I don't know what your risk tolerance is. Why? Because wholesaling real estate, finding ugly houses, putting them under contract for a low price, and then assigning that contract. Trust me, it is absolutely, I don't care what your favorite guru fucking told you online. It is not easy. It is absolutely not easy. It's simple. It's ABC stuff, but easy. Whoever told you that, they sold you, okay, a freaking pipe dream. They sold you a high ticket of $10,000 to tell you that it was easy, or they have a magic button, or they have a magic list, or they don't. They absolutely don't. Their biggest money comes from that ticket they just sold you at $10,000. Trust me, okay? So the first thing you gotta answer is, and you need to answer that. No grown man can answer that for you. Like, okay, what is your risk tolerance? Are you truly risk tolerant? That's number one. Why? Because you might quit your 9 to 5, and then now you have the anxiety, the stress of how are you going to pay your rent? How are you going to pay your mortgage if you own a house? How are you going to pay your car? How are you going to pay your phone? If you have a wife and kids or a girlfriend that you're taking care of, how are you going to pay for that? That stress right there, nobody's going to come and live with that stress for you. That's your stress. Your mentor, your guru is not going to come in and leave that stress for you. So are you mentally, physically meant for this, right? Because you might spend 1 year without getting your first deal. I don't know what your work ethic look like. I don't even know right now the 9 to 5 that you have if you are showing up on time, or are you always late at your 9 to 5? You know what I mean? So what is your risk tolerance? That's number one. Number two, are you going to do whatever it takes? Meaning, for me, when I left my 9 to 5, right? My 9 to 5 was in Belgium. When I left my 9 to 5, which I left my 9 to 5 specifically for wholesaling real estate, I was either going to prove that it's real or it's fake, right? When I left it, I burned the bridges. If I had to file bankruptcy 100 trillion times, I would have done it before I went back to another 9 to 5. That's the kind of determination that I had. And one thing I knew for sure is that 2 years prior to me quitting my 9 to 5, I was already a way different individual, meaning I was the number one commercial agent at my 9 to 5. I wasn't doing it for my manager. I was surely not doing it for that stupid salary they were paying me. I was doing it for me. I was coming on time. I was freaking enthusiastic all the time. I served the clients to the best of my ability, right? This is Belgium. You got to speak freaking 4 different languages every single time a client approach you is a different language that they speak. So you're always changing hats and freaking, you know what I mean? So are you really cut out for this? Because most people think they want to be in business or want to start their own business or want to be their own boss. But most people have zero work ethics, absolute zero work ethics, zero disciplines, zero risk tolerance, right? And they want to start their own business. Because wholesaling, ultimately, unless you're treating it as a business, the only thing that's going to happen, the same thing that happened to all these newbies, is they've bought every single mentorship you can think of, from the 500 freaking, I don't even know what they call them, those people that make you write $50,000 checks every time you go to their events with big fancy suits, and then you join their mentorships and you don't learn crap shit, right? Or the guru, same thing. So they sell you a $10,000 ticket and then you join the mentorship thinking that the mentor is going to build your business for you. You join it finding out that no, it's not going to happen. They don't have any magic list. All they're telling you is the things that you already know. Hey, fix your mindset. Hey, wake up in the morning. Hey, go do the USA. Hey, read books. Hey, make the calls. Hey, you already know that. Now, I do agree that sometimes you need somebody to remind you what you know. But the question here is, when should you quit your 9 to 5? That ultimate question should always be answered by you. Because if I tell you quit your 9 to 5, and then 2 weeks after, because you called 2 people about their home and they said no, and then you decide that this thing doesn't work just because you got 2 no's, and now you have to go find another 9 to 5, guess what? You're gonna resent me. Oh yeah, but Mama Dude told me if I quit my 9 to 5 and I start going after, no. Like, don't stop asking that. It's a dumb, let me not offend somebody. Not a dumb question, but like it's a question that you don't think before you ask question. When somebody asks that kind of question to another grown person, it's like, bro, you should quit your 9 to 5 when you're ready to quit your 9 to 5, right? When you feel like, hey, I can go all in, number one. Number two, I'm willing to take the risk. Number three, if you have a wife or whatever, we're aligned, right? That my wife trusts me, or I'm going to earn my wife's trust if I haven't earned it before. So I am going to prove to my wife that she can trust me, because I'm going to go all in. I'm going to be disciplined. I'm going to make the calls, which is freaking boring, but I'm going to do the boring task until I get my first deal. And then once I get my proof of concept, then I'm not going to stop. I'm going to build from that momentum. And then I'm going to scale this into an actual true business, right? And then I'm going to invest in myself, right? So like, if you don't have your finances together, if you know you have anxiety, if you know you're low risk tolerant, if you know at your 9 to 5 right now, let me ask, right? When you ask that question, you should ask yourself right now, let's say another COVID comes back. Something freaking stupid out of the sky comes back that, you know, not even going to get into it because I don't want this video to be taken down. But your 9 to 5 right now, ask yourself truly, would you be the first to be fired? Or would you be that person that your manager comes and says, man, hey, How can we keep you? How can we make sure that you're comfortable working from home? How should we buy you a new computer? Why? Because you're valuable to the company. Are you really valuable to your 9 to 5 right now? If there was another COVID right now, would you be the first person that will get fired? Genuinely answer that question. Because if you're always the one that is late, always the one with the shitty attitude, always the one that talk to the customers all kind of ways, doesn't matter where you work, you will be the first person gone if the economy goes bad, which we're right now, we're in a freaking bad economy already. If you guys don't know, most people cannot even afford bread and gas, right? So it's like, before, don't ask that question to anybody but yourself. And before you invest your $10,000 into a mentorship, even, because I've talked to a lot of people that have been in mentorships. It's been 2 years, 3 years, and they haven't done crap shit. No deals, no lending, didn't make any money, didn't make any genuine connections. All they're doing is masturbating on Zooms, going on events, masturbating, just bunch of talk, blah, 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 blah. I've grown to have very little patience for grown people, especially guys that walk around Earth not knowing what they fucking want. And genuinely, right? And get offended about everything. So the first person you should invest in is yourself. So before you quit your 9 to 5, make sure that I'm the high risk tolerant. When I quit my 9 to 5, I had maybe 3 grand in my account. Okay. And my now 5-year-old daughter was about to be born. And then I was going through a fucking divorce. And then I had to cross a whole continent with a one-way flight ticket. But guess what? My family understood. Now, I didn't deserve my family's trust to be aligned with me to let me do this. So I had to sit them down, including my dad, who passed away now, who's my hero, including my dad. I had to sit him down and explain to him that, listen, this time I'm done playing. I deserved that you guys don't even trust me. Why? Because I dropped out of school. Now, obviously, guys, I should have even dropped out of school way sooner, because school is completely fucking useless, right? But I should have dropped out of school way sooner, but that's another story for another day. But I dropped out of school, did a lot of shitty jobs, but also my family noticed that every probably 1 year, 2 years, I have a new job. So I'm always changing jobs. I'm always wanting to do something different. Today, I want to be an engineer. Tomorrow, I want to be a programmer, right? And after tomorrow, I want to be an astronaut. And so I've made myself this name of Jack of all trades. So I cannot deserve that they didn't trust me. So when I told them that I'm going to do wholesale in real estate, they're like, what? What is real estate wholesale? I said, well, I discovered this thing. Now, mind you, my job that I had in Belgium, guys, was a government job. Well paid, one. Plus in Europe, guys, you cannot be fucking fired if you have a government job. You can literally never come to work. You can call sick all day. They cannot fire you. They have to pay you and deal with your ass. I had colleagues like that at my last 9 to 5, which was, I used to work for the high-speed trains in Belgium, and those trains travel all over Europe. And I was a commercial agent there, one of the best, right? But some of my colleagues haven't come to work for 8 months, 1 year, 2 years, and they're still getting paid. And you cannot fire them. Why? Because it's a government job. There is certain laws that protect you, and then certain freaking people that lobby to help you stay lazy. I don't even know what they're freaking called. Now that I think about it, it's such a shitty system that I knew as soon as I get my passport in fucking Europe, I'm fucking out. I'm out back to the US, right? To the system I just hated in Europe, right? But my family, I deserve the Jack of all trade name, so I had to just tell my family, listen, I told my dad, you know what? You guys just give me the space that I need to go out, because when they asked me about wholesaling, I said, well, I was at my 9 to 5, and this is exactly what happened. I was at my 9 to 5, and I was looking for a warehouse. Then I landed on this video that is talking about, this guy made $800,000. I was that excited. $800,000, and he made it from his mom's basement flipping papers. Like flipping papers. Yes, he find ugly houses, he put them under contract, then he take this contract, then he assign it for a fee. It's called wholesale real estate. I'm going on a rent. Even me thinking about it right now, I'll probably laugh at myself, right? It's like, dude, are you on cocaine or something? I remember my 2 big brothers, they were looking at me like, what are you smoking? On the low, right? So I said, okay, you know what? Fuck it. You guys are right. I deserve that you guys don't trust me because I dropped out of school, always changing jobs. Every single day I want to be something different, do something different. I grew up away from my family, right? So I have a complete different upbringing than most of my siblings. I grew up in a refugee camp and I also live by myself since the age of 16. So I had to teach myself to become a man. So it's a different trajectory that I took. So I had to learn things as I go, right? I went to is it the school of hard knocks that we call that, right? So I told them, listen, you guys just give me about, because my dad's like, no, you got a great job. It's a government job. You're wearing a suit and tie. Obviously, I'm from Guinea-Conakry, West Africa. That's where my parents is from. That's where I was born. And so for them, if you have a government job where you're wearing a suit and tie and you look fancy, you've made it, even if you're fucking broke. Go figure. It's just a culture thing, right? So it's like, why do you want to waste all of that? Plus, your daughter is about to be born. So when the family try to talk you out of your dreams and goals, typically it comes out of love because they're afraid for you, right? So my dad is concerned that, hey, how are you going to provide for your daughter that's about to be born? How are you going to do all this? You just got a government job, that, you know what I mean? So with that being with that being said, no, Guinea-Conakry. With that being said, I had to sit down with myself and take self-accountability and go, you know what? I actually absolutely deserve the fact that they doubt me, the fact that they don't want to support me right now, the fact that they're giving me a hard time to go back and take my 9 to 5. I deserve it. Every single day I want to be something different. I'm always partying. I'm with the wrong friends in Europe. We're partying from Monday to Sunday. So absolutely. So I told them, listen, I am going to earn your trust. Just give me the space. Stop telling me to go to my 9 to 5 every single day. I don't need you guys to pay my rent. If you don't want to, at the time, luckily, my older brothers, my dad raised us in a way where we take care of each other at all times because we watch him take care of his siblings his whole life. And so my older brother told me, listen, you're not about to go rent anything because I told them I don't even need to be in you guys. You guys don't even got to let me leave there. I can just rent my apartment. I'm a guy. I'll be okay. If I have to sleep in the car, I'll do it. But let me go prove the concept. And so he was like, no, you're not going to go rent anything. That's fine. If you are willing to go ahead and prove the concept and you don't need any financial support from us, we'll give you the space. Just go prove it. Once you prove the concept, then we'll believe it. Because I don't believe my older brothers study in the US. They almost grew up here. They study here, I think, up to the university and until they got their freaking masters and all those things, right? They're all engineers. And so for them, it's like, I've been seeing all these signs. We buy houses cash my whole life. These people are millionaires. What are you talking about? There's no way you can go out here, find a property, put it under contract, and then sell that contract for a fee. What are you talking about? So for them, it's like, what? We've been trying to do real estate forever. And then their idea was to save $50,000 and then start flipping properties. And I'm like, guys, you don't have to do that. You can just do wholesaling. Right? So it's like, are you crazy? So I said, listen, I can even live in my car, no problem. That's how risk tolerant I was. Like I was done. I was done with the 9 to 5 life. I was done being a bum. I was done being lazy. I was done being not disciplined. I was done wasting my time. I was done being financially freaking not where I want to be. And so it was either I prove this is real or it's fake. And the worst thing that's going to happen is that, but at the end of this, I'll become a better person. So my older brother said, listen, okay, you can live in my house, in my basement. You don't have to pay anything other than your food. And then that's it. Go prove the concept. Boom. You don't have to go rent anything. So you don't have to spend money. You can use that money. And then you can use that money for your marketing. And guess what else? And guess what else? Sorry, guys. Instagram, this guy, James, is looking at me. He's saying Elon is looking at him. I'm crying. He's like, listen, you don't have to go rent anything. Okay, you don't have to go rent anything. You can save that money. At the time, I decided to choose Uber and Lyft while I am proving the concept of wholesale real estate. Why Uber and Lyft? Because I still have to bring income in to pay my bills. But also, when I'm doing Uber and Lyft, that's my car. That's my car. And so no customer can tell me I cannot make a phone call or I cannot pick up a call if a homeowner calls me. There's no manager on my back watching what I'm doing, and I'm not locked into an office. So I can still market and find properties because it's my car. I decide what happens in my car. Plus, I have more control. I can shut down the application any minute and do whatever I want. And then I learned that one of the best ways and cheapest ways to find ugly homes and put them under contract is to do what is called driving for dollars. What is driving for dollars? Is essentially getting in your car, you go to your hottest zip codes, and you drive around and you find abandoned houses, ugly houses with tall grass, broken windows, or even beautiful houses but that are vacant. And then you put these properties into Deal Machine. Deal Machine is an application that basically allow you to, when you're driving, you can pinpoint the property and it gives you all the information. You can upload it there. Then after that, you can call it. Boom. I was like, okay, I can do that. One, I'm driving Uber and Lyft, so I'm generating income. Two, I can shut down the app. Three, if I drive around, so if I drive a customer from point A to point B, at the point B, I shut down my app and then I drive around and I find homes. Also, because it's individuals that is getting in my car, guess what? That is a referral base. So what I started doing is this. I started turning every customer into a potential referral for a property. That's how I got my first 3 deals. All of them were referrals from people that I was picking up in my Lyft. How? Really simple. I started getting interested in people. First, you ask them about them, and then the law of reciprocity, they ask you about you. So it's always like, okay, so what do you do? How did you end up as an Uber driver? After I asked them about them, I'm like, hey, I'm just doing this personally right now. I'm actually a full-time real estate investor. I look for ugly homes, and we do pay referrals between $2,500 to $5,000. And if you know anybody who's looking to sell, please let me know. Or when I drop them off, I ask them, do you know any vacant house here that you maybe drove by before or walked by before? Boom. That's how I got my first 3 deals. The first deal was $68,000 next to BWI Airport. This is Baltimore. But how did I learn that strategy? In my car. How did I learn that strategy? The number one thing I cut off of my damn life is this junk music that we all listen to. Junk music. I turned my car into a school. I stopped listening to all these freaking rappers that is turning our daughters into freaking strippers. No future in my car. No, all these dumbass rappers. I'm done listening to that shit. I started listening to podcasts about real estate. I started listening to seller calls in my car. So I turned my car. Essentially, that's where I learned that strategy. It's called the 3-feet rule, to where the guy was talking. The guy was saying that every single time you meet somebody, doesn't matter where you meet them, at the gym, at the bus stop, inside a taxi, make sure you always mention what you do in life. Why? Because that might be the next referral, the next private lender, the next seller. Doesn't matter. Talk to them. So I decided, boom, I'm going to apply that. And I started applying it in my car. What is my point? My point is I was willing to go all in. My point is nobody had to tell me when to quit my 9 to 5. I made that decision myself because I knew that doesn't matter what happened. I am never again in my life punching the clock. Never in my life again I'm punching the clock. So next time you go to a real estate networking event, next time you reach out to a mentor, next time you come to a networking event and you're like, hey, when should I quit my 9 to 5? That's a question that you need to answer. You need to answer. Are you risk tolerant? Are you going to do what it takes? Because it's absolutely not easy. I don't care what the fucking gurus told you. Are you going to be disciplined? Are you going to show up? Are you going to put all this like reading 100 books per year and you still haven't done a deal? Is a waste of time. This is 2024. Chat GPT is going to wreck you. You spending 10 hours a day reading books and you're not a freaking lawyer. Mental masturbation. You see, it's way harder to be on the phones and call the sellers and get the rejections. You're busy 4-6 hours reading books. Then you jump on another Zoom. Then you listen to somebody saying, oh, meditate from, like, come on. Okay. So should you quit your 9 to 5? I'm asking you. Ask yourself, are you ready to quit your 9 to 5? Are you willing to go all in? Are you going to do what it takes? Are you going to put yourself in the right rooms? And another question, and I'm going to end with this, guys. The other question that is very tied to this question is, hey, I have $10,000. Do you think I should quit my 9 to 5 and then invest it in a mentorship? Listen, one, $10,000 is not money. That's the first. $10,000, I repeat, please. I know right now, if you're too busy trying to chase your first deal to pay your mortgage, you think $10,000 is money, but it's not. And most mentorship is going to take all that money from you anyway, because that's what it costs. So $10,000. Two, if you're trying to invest that to become, like, let's say a private lender, I cannot even pay the title company the closing costs with $10,000. I can't do nothing with it. Plus a 10% return on that $10,000. What is that per year? Nothing. Okay, so that $10,000, if you're going to invest it into anything, make sure you invest it on yourself. What do I mean by on yourself? Right now, if I have to go back, guys, one of the best advice I'll give you when it comes to investing in yourself when you're new is invest in proximity. Make sure anybody you invest with, you're actually investing to go have a proximity experience. Pay somebody, go see their operation, spend 2 weeks with them, 1 month, whatever, proximity. Because I see a lot of people invest and then is online mentorships and the never like the proximity will change your life. Why? Because the proximity, number one, is going to confirm what you already know. You're gonna come and see their operations, and then you're gonna realize that shit, they don't have any secret lists. They're just doing the boring work. They're disciplined. They wake up in the morning. They show up at the office. They dial the numbers. You're going to see the team sitting there for 2 hours. Nobody's responding on the call. And then all of a sudden, there's 2 people responding. And then it's F you, why you calling me? There's no sign in my yard. And then they're calling multiple different type of leads because you got to have multiple sources of lead source. And you're going to go back home completely, like your psyche will be completely changed. That's what made it real for me. Even when I started, he's a guy in PA. His name is Brandon Nuss. He took me and gave me that experience. He showed me his deals, his odds, what he's doing. I went to sellers appointments with him. That's what made it real for me, not watching videos online. Not watching freaking videos online. So if you have $10,000, invest it in somebody that you trust, that you know they're doing deals. Their last deal, not in the 1980s, in 2024. Make sure they show you the HUD. Okay, go have a proximity experience with that person and their team and their operation, and then go back home and fucking do the work. Stop freaking meditating all day. It's not going to change your bank balance. And stop asking people when you should quit your 9 to 5, because you know when you should quit your 9 to 5. If you don't have what it takes, don't quit your 9 to 5. There's nothing wrong having a 9 to 5. Actually, a 9 to 5, if you leverage it and use it the right way, is actually a superpower. Most people, to me, if you ask me, what they should be doing is to make more money at their 9 to 5 and then invest in other people that are willing to take the risk and be in the front lines and find the deals and do the marketing and do the hustle and do all these headaches, and just invest your money for equity. It's not nothing wrong with it. People think they want to be their own boss until they find out that being your own boss, being on Zooms and masturbating all day is not going to work. All right. So Bert said, I left my 9 to 5 2021 and done 100K a year since wholesaling, but you want. Yes, sir. Yes, Bert. Love that, bro. Absolutely. You gotta want it. Big facts. There you go. Guys, I'm gonna end this episode here. I hope you guys are crushing it wherever you are. Make sure before you quit your 9 to 5, you genuinely ask you the questions of, like, you gotta face yourself in the mirror. If you have a partner in life, a husband, a wife, girlfriend, whatever, listen. Make sure you can answer that question for yourself. Don't ask somebody, because if they give you an advice to quit your 9 to 5 and then you don't make it, and you don't make it because you didn't have the discipline and the work ethic and what it takes and the drive, guess what? You're gonna end up hating that person that gave you the advice and resenting them when it's not their fault. You just didn't do shit. All right. So answer the question for yourself. All right, guys. So I hope you guys having a wonderful Monday. And remember, the Boom Effect podcast will drop an episode every single Monday at 6:30. Normally, I'm with my co-host, Andrew Powell and Steve, but today they're at the office with the team. We're actually relocating more staff here in Atlanta. We're buying back the building. Not only that, we're also providing housing next to the office for the staff that we're hiring into the building to work with us, because we're no longer doing the virtual shit. Why? Because it's so tough to create virtual, culture. Okay. But if you tune into my podcast, guys, make sure you're ready. Make sure you love somebody being real with you, keeping it real with you. Make sure you're not somebody who's emotionally weak, because I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what you need to hear. And that's about it. And I can only tell you from my experience and what I'm doing, and everything else, I have no idea. Keep talking to these gurus that are eating your money and selling you a bunch of shit on Zooms every single day. All right, guys. Until next time, I'll see you guys next Monday. The episode will drop. Make sure you check us out on Spotify if you haven't. Okay. If you're local here in Atlanta, connect with me. You can come to our offices, see exactly what we're doing. And until next time, guys, stay bold and be bold. Boom, boom, boom.